Hello students, welcome to Edviz Learning. We are on chapter number 5, Quadratic Equations, as you know, and in the previous two sessions we have completed exercise 5a and 5b, correct? So in the very first exercise we saw what the standard form of a quadratic equation is, correct? Based on that we solved the first exercise, and also along with the standard form we saw what are the roots of a quadratic equation. We don't know yet how to solve a quadratic equation, but we definitely know what the roots of a quadratic equation are. Okay? Based on that, we solved the very first exercise. After that, we studied how to identify the nature of the roots of a quadratic equation based on the value b square minus 4ac, which is also known as the discriminant of quadratic equation. Now, what is this b, a and c? So, it comes from the standard form of the quadratic equation, which is ax square plus bx plus c equal to 0. Okay? Based on this, we saw कि b square minus 4ac से हम लोग कैसे determine कर सकते हैं the nature of the roots of a quadratic equation. If b square minus 4ac for any equation is equal to 0, the quadratic equation has real and equal roots, correct? And if it is greater than 0, it has real roots, but they are not equal. But if it is less than 0, if b square minus 4ac is less than 0, then the quadratic equation has imaginary roots. Okay? They are not real numbers. Now, after solving two exercises in the chapter, we will finally come to the solving part of a quadratic equation. How do we solve it? ठीक है, इसका एक छोटा सा झलक हम लोगों ने एक्सरसाइज 5b में ऑलरेडी देख लिया है. In question number 2, you saw how we solved k using the method of factorization, correct? वो factorization का method use किया था. We will see once again कि how to solve a quadratic equation using factorization method. That's the next thing in the chapter. Okay, so let us come to that, solving quadratic equations with factorization method. For that, I will take an example. Let's take an example of a quadratic equation. Let us say x square minus 10x minus 24 equal to 0. Okay, this is a quadratic equation. We have to solve it using factorization. As the name suggests, all we are going to do here is factorize the left hand side of the equation. You already know how to factorize trinomials. You have been studying it since your 8th standard. So let us factorize this. What is the first step? Whatever the coefficient of x square is, here it is 1. Multiply it with the last term or the constant term, correct? Now, this is necessary here. Before solving this, you have to bring the quadratic equation to its standard form. Equation is form में ही चाहिए, correct? So if it is given in any other form, your first job is to bring the equation in its standard form, ax square plus bx plus c equal to 0. Now, once it is in its standard form, the first step is to multiply the coefficient of x square with the constant term. So you will get minus 24 here, correct? 1 into minus 24 is minus 24. After this, you have to find out two factors of minus 24 in such a way that the sum of those two factors is minus 10. Okay, factors of minus 24 in such a way that the sum of both factors has to be minus 10. Now, if we need the factors of minus 24, correct? तो दो numbers का multiplication negative कब हो सकता है? Only when one number is positive, one number is negative. There is no other scenario. Okay, so one number has to be positive, one factor has to be positive, the other factor has to be negative. Only then is the product of these two factors negative. And again, when we add these two numbers, so the addition between a positive number and a negative number will always result in subtraction. Okay, तो मुझे ऐसे दो factors चाहिए minus 24 के जिनके बीच में का difference will be minus 10. So can you think of any such numbers? Only one thing comes to mind, that is 12 and 2. The difference is of 10, but we need a difference of minus 10. Okay, so यहाँ पर एक positive एक negative factor जो हम लोगों को लेना है, इसमें से negative कौन सा होगा? 12 will be negative and 2 will be positive. Only then the difference is minus 10, correct? So if we take minus 2 and plus 12, we will get plus 10, but we need minus 10. That's why minus 12 and plus 2 is the correct pair of factors. Once you get the factors, you use those factors to split the middle term, correct? So यहाँ पर next step में हम लोग क्या करेंगे? X square as it is the middle term will now be split according to these factors. So plus 2x minus 12x minus 24 equal to 0. Okay. Once you split the middle term, you have already learned how to factorize any algebraic expression by grouping, correct? As you can see, there are 4 terms here. We will make groups of 2 and we will factorize them. So here what is common? The HCF is x, okay, and in the bracket x plus 2 will be left. So x square mein se ek x is outside, only one x is left, and 2x divided by x is only 2. Then here we can say minus 12 is common. If I take a negative number common, always remember the sign changes inside the bracket, correct? So what is left behind here? Only x, and this minus will now become plus, and 12 2s are 24. We all know that. Okay, this is equal to 0 as it is. Now this part is just factorization, something which you have learned earlier in your 8th and 9th standard. Nothing new here. Okay. Then we can take x plus 2 and x plus 2 common. Take it outside. As you can see, this is the common part here. So what will be left behind? X minus 12 equal to 0. Okay. So this is the factorization. After this starts the solution. So once you have the products, okay, factors equal to 0, I told you zero product rule in the earlier lecture, where if we multiply two numbers, okay, and the product is 0, then it is compulsory that one of these numbers has to be 0. Otherwise we cannot get a 0 product. ठीक है, या तो a इक्वल टू 0 होगा या फिर b इक्वल टू 0 होगा या फिर दोनों 0 होगा. ठीक है, it is compulsory because there is no other scenario where the product of two numbers is 0. So यहाँ पर भी same है. There are two different factors. The product of these two factors is 0. That means either x plus 2 has to be 0 or x minus 12 has to be 0. That means we get two solutions, as it is mandatory for a quadratic equation. We know there are maximum two possible solutions in a quadratic equation, right? So either x is equal to minus 2 when this plus 2 goes on the other side, or x is equal to positive 12. Minus 12 on the other side will become positive 12. So this is the way to solve a quadratic equation using factorization method, correct? So this is also the very first question of your next exercise, exercise 5C. Okay, exercise 5C has already been started. This is question number 1, first sub question. The question is to solve equations number 1 to 20 given below using factorization method. So 20 equations are given, we have to solve them using factorization method. This is the very first equation. So please note this down. Okay, and then we will move on to the next question. I'll give you a minute to note this down. Okay students, moving on to the second question given in the exercise. Now look at the second question. The second equation is x square minus 16 equal to 0. Okay, now you know this is a quadratic equation because the degree is 2, highest power is 2. So we cannot say that it's not even a quadratic equation. But it is correct that it is not in its standard form. ठीक है, but यहाँ पर middle term अगर missing है, it makes our job a little bit more easier. Okay, how so? You know this term, it can be factorized using the formula a square minus b square. You already know this identity. What is a square minus b square? It is a plus b and multiplied by a minus b. These are the factors, correct? So we can factorize this directly using this identity. As you can see, this is x square minus 16 is 4 square equal to 0, correct? So x square minus 4 square can be written as x minus 4 multiplied by x plus 4 equal to 0, correct? So once again we have two individual factors जिनका product equal to 0 है. That means by zero product rule you can say that either x minus 4 is equal to 0 or x plus 4 is equal to 0. Okay, that means x is equal to 4 or x is equal to minus 4. This is the simple solution of this quadratic equation. Okay, so please note down while I repeat this once again. We have x square minus 16 equal to 0. We just use an identity, x square minus 4 square equal to 0. This is what the question is. So the identity that we used is a square minus b square equal to a plus b multiplied by a minus b. So x minus 4 multiplied by x plus 4 equal to 0. So once again use the zero product rule. X minus 4 is 0 or x plus 4 is 0. Okay, so x is 4 or minus 4. This is the simple solution. I hope you are done writing. Moving on to the next equation that we have. The third equation is 2x square minus half x equal to 0. 2x square minus half x equal to 0. Once again, as you can see, in this equation there is no constant term. Okay, so but if it is still a quadratic equation because the degree is 2, correct? So here what we can do is we can take simply the terms that are common outside. So in these two terms only x is common, correct? So what will be left behind? 2x, okay, because x square में से एक x तो बाहर है, minus 1 upon 2 equal to 0. The reason I did this is because as you can see, once again we are getting two different factors. X multiplied by 2x minus half, okay, these two factors equal to 0, the product is equal to 0. That means once again by using the zero product rule, या तो x equal to 0 होगा, correct, और 2x minus half equal to 0. ठीक है, so इसको थोड़ा आगे और सॉल्व कर लेते हैं. 2x will be equal to, take half on the other side, minus half है, वहां पे हो जाएगा positive half, and x will be equal to 1 upon 2 into 2, that is 4. Okay, so x is equal to 0 or x equal to 1 upon 4. This is the solution of this equation. I hope you understood this. Here we just did a simple factorization. Please note down while I speak. And x is common. That's why the second bracket is 2x minus half. Correct? So once again we have two factors जिनका product 0 है. तो या तो एक 0 होगा x और 2x minus half will be equal to 0. So 0 is one solution and the other solution upon solving this equation is x equal to 1 upon 4. Okay, so I hope you are done writing. These are small equations, so I won't give you much time. Let us go to the next question. Let's look at the fourth equation. X multiplied by x minus 5 equal to 24. Now this doesn't look like a quadratic equation, but मैंने बोला था if it is not looking like a quadratic equation, your first job is to bring it to its standard form. Just open the bracket. Okay, if we open this bracket, it will be x square minus 5x. Okay, and if I take this 24 on the left hand side, it will be minus 24 equal to 0. So this is our quadratic equation in its standard form. Now ये एक normal equation है जिसको factorization method से हम लोगों को solve करना है. Let us factorize the left hand side. Remember the rules. First step, multiply the coefficient of x square by the last term. Since it is 1, the last term will come as it is minus 24. So once again we have the same number minus 24, but now the factors that are needed in such a way that the difference between the factors should be minus 5. Correct? In the earlier question it was minus 10, now it is minus 5. So the factors that we took in the earlier question will not work here. We'll have to think of some new factors, correct? So 8 multiplied by 3, as you know, 8 into 3 is 24, but again we need minus 24. So one of these two numbers has to be negative. So which one will be negative? That will be decided by this. We need minus 5. Okay, so 8 को अगर मैं positive ले लेता हूँ, 3 को negative ले लेता हूँ, 8 minus 3 will be positive 5. But we need negative 5, so we will take minus 8 and plus 3. Correct? These are the correct pair of factors. You will get minus 8x plus 3x minus 24 equal to 0. Once again, factorize this using the grouping method. Here, the groups, as you can see, x is common. We will get x minus 8. Here 3 is common, so x minus 8 once again. Take out x minus 8 because it is common in both the places. The remaining part is x plus 3 equal to 0. Correct? So here either x minus 8 equal to 0, we are using the zero product rule, correct? Or x plus 3 equal to 0. So x equal to 8 or x equal to minus 3. This is the solution for this equation, correct? I'll give you 30 seconds to note this down. Then let us go to the next question. Okay students, moving on to the next equation that we have, question number 1, fifth one. Okay, the fifth equation here is (9 upon 2x equal to 5 plus x square). Okay, this is the next equation. Now, first job, bring it to its standard form. Shift this 9 upon 2 on the left side. You will get x square minus 9 upon 2x plus 5 equal to 0. ठीक है, this 5 मैंने बस लास्ट में लिख दिया plus 5. Now, यहाँ पर this 2 is in its denominator. ठीक है, so I'll just cross multiply it to both the terms. Okay, so 2 into x square will become 2x square minus 9x and 2 into 5 will become 10 divided by the entire denominator is 2. But if you think about it, we have 0 on the other side, right? If I shift this 2 on the other side, it will get multiplied with 0 and it will become 0. So our equation is 2x square minus 9x plus 10 equal to 0. Okay. Now we have to solve it like any other equation. First step, multiply the coefficient of x square to the constant part. So 2 multiplied by 10, we will have 20 this time. Okay, we need factors of 20 this time and we need them in such a way that the addition of those two factors will be minus 9. Okay, now think about it, this is positive 20. So both the factors have to be positive or both the factors have to be negative. But which case is useful here? As you can see, we need minus 9. Okay, so the addition of the factors is negative. That means both the factors have to be negative. इससे क्या होगा? दोनों का multiplication जो है minus into minus will be positive 20. But when we add them, minus and minus, they will get added and they have to become minus 9. So factors of 20, think about them. You will find out 5 multiplied by 4. This is our case here. Okay, because we need the addition to be minus 9. The factors are minus 5 and minus 4, correct? So let them consider here to split the middle term. Okay, this becomes our equation now. Again, by grouping method, as you can see here, only x is common. So in the bracket, what will be left? 2 as it is, and from x square only one x has been taken out. Second x will be as it is, minus here 5 will be left behind. Okay, and in minus 4x and plus 10, I can take minus 2 common. If I take minus 2 common, it is a negative number. In the bracket, the sign will now change. So it will become 2 2s are 4, x as it is, positive will become negative, and 10 divided by 2 is 5. Remember, in factorization method, your two brackets should always be same. If they are not coming same, there is some mistake that you are doing. Now these two brackets are equal, they are same, we can take that out common. Okay? Here you will get 2x minus 5 in one bracket, and in the second bracket x minus 2 equal to 0. Therefore 2x minus 5 will be 0 or x minus 2 will be 0. Okay, therefore here from this equation you can see the solution is minus 5 on the other side, positive 5 divided by this 2, correct? X will be positive 5 divided by 2 or x will be positive 2. So this is our solution for question number 5. Okay, I hope you understood this equation. I'll give you a minute to note this down, then we'll move on to the next question. Okay, let us continue, students. Next is question number 6, where the equation is 6 upon x equal to 1 plus x. Moving on to the next page. This is our equation. Now here the degree doesn't look like it is 2. Okay, so we will change this into a quadratic equation. What we can simply do is shift this x on the other side. It will get multiplied by 1 plus x. So here you are getting 6 equal to x multiplied by 1 plus x. Okay, so it will become 6 equal to x plus x square. Take this 6 also on the other side. Our equation in its standard form is x square plus x and minus 6 equal to 0. Okay, 6 on other side will become minus 6. So this is our equation. It's a simple equation. We have to find the factors of 1 multiplied by minus 6. So minus 6 का 2 factors चाहिए, but in such a way that the difference between the factors is positive 1. Why difference? Because minus 6 के लिए एक factor positive, एक factor negative. This is compulsory, correct? But which factor is positive? The bigger one. Okay, because we need a positive number. So if you think about it, we know that 3 2s are 6 and positive 3 minus 2 will make plus 1. Okay, so let us use that to split the middle term. Again, by grouping, you can see here x is common and here we can take 2 common. So the sign will now change because we have taken negative 2 outside. Here we will get positive 3 equal to 0. Take this entire bracket common, x plus 3. What will be left behind? X minus 2 equal to 0. Okay, so either x plus 3 equal to 0 or x minus 2 equal to 0. Okay, so x is equal to minus 3 or x is equal to 2. This is our final solution for this equation. Now take 30 seconds to note this down before we move on to the next question. Okay students, moving on to the next question. Now look at the seventh equation that we have. The seventh equation is x equals to 3x plus 1 divided by 4x. In this equation, all you have to do is shift this 4x on the left hand side, you will get the quadratic equation. So 4x into x will become 4x square, these two will get multiplied, equal to 3x plus 1. Shift these two terms on the left hand side, you will get 4x square minus 3x minus 1 equal to 0. This is our quadratic equation. First step to solve a quadratic equation, bring it to its standard form, then multiply the coefficient of x square with the constant term. So 4 into minus 1, we have to find the factors of minus 4. Minus 4 के factors ऐसे चाहिए जिनका difference will be minus 3. Again, why difference? Because it is minus 4. So one factor positive, one factor negative. Okay. Here what will work? We need minus 3. So if we take one factor to be positive 1 and the other factor to be negative 4. Okay. Minus 4 ones are minus 4 and the difference is of minus 3. 4 is negative, correct? So use that to split the middle term. So minus 4x plus 1x, or you can just write x minus 1 equal to 0. Okay. In these two terms you can see, so these are the groups. In these two terms 4 is common, also one x is common. In the bracket we will have x minus 1 because entire 4x is outside, correct? So 4x divided by 4x is 1. Next, in these two terms there is nothing common, but we can still write 1 as common between them and x minus 1 in the bracket. Okay, if there is nothing common, we can always take 1 common. So this bracket, as you can see, it can be taken outside. Now we will have 4x plus 1 equal to 0. That means x minus 1 is 0 or 4x plus 1 is 0. Okay, so x is 1 or here minus 1 will go on, plus 1 will go on other side, it will become minus 1 and x will be minus 1 divided by 4. Okay, so this was question number 7, seventh equation. Please take a minute to note this down, then we'll move on to the next question. Okay, moving on to the next question. The next equation is x plus 1 upon x equal to 2.5. Okay, let's solve the next equation. Eighth one, x plus 1 upon x equals to 2.5. Once again, we will have to bring it to its standard form. So cross multiply x here. X into x will become x square plus 1 divided by, now the denominator for both of these terms is x and here we have 2.5. So to make it simpler, we can write this 2.5 as 5 divided by 2. Okay, to make it simpler, we can write it as 5 divided by 2. How this came? So 2.5, if we multiply and divide 10, you will get 25 upon 10, correct? So when we cancel it, 5 2s are 5 5s are 5 by 2. Okay, we have written this 2.5 as 5 divided by 2. Now cross multiply. So 2 into x square plus 1 equal to 5x. Open the bracket. 2x square plus 2 equal to 5x. Bring this 5x on the left side. It is 2x square minus 5x plus 2 equal to 0. Okay. So once again we have a normal quadratic equation or a quadratic equation in its standard form. First step, multiply the coefficient of x square to the constant term. So 2 into 2 you will get 4 here. Okay. So the factors of 4 that we need to bring the addition to be minus 5. Okay. Both should be negative here because multiplication is positive 4 and addition is negative 5. We know 4 ones are 4 and the addition is also minus 5. So let us use these factors. 1x or just x. Okay. Here 2 is common and 1x is common. We will get x minus 2 2s are 4, x is already outside. Okay, and here if I take minus 1 common, since there is nothing else common, like I told you in the previous question, we can always take 1 common, but I am taking minus 1 common, because if we take minus 1 common, we get x as it is, and this positive sign will now become negative 2. Okay, like I told you, whenever you take a negative term or the negative number common between two terms, the sign will always change. Equal to 0. Now take x minus 2 outside. The term that is left behind is 2x minus 1. So here you are getting x minus 2 equal to 0 or 2x minus 1 equal to 0. Okay. So x equal to 2, or here if I take minus 1 on the other side, it will become plus 1. So x will be equal to 1 upon 2. Take 2 also on the other side. So our solution is 2 or 1 by 2. Okay? 2 or 1 by 2. So this is question number 8. Again, I'll give you 30 seconds to note this down. Let us then move on to the next question. Okay students, moving on to the next question. Question number 9. 2x minus 3 the whole square equals to 49. So question number 9. 2x minus 3 the whole square equals to 49. So once again, we'll have to first bring it to its standard form. Okay, let us do that. We know a minus b the whole square is a square, that means 2x square, minus 2ab, that means 2 into 2x into 3, and plus b square means 3 square. Okay, we are just using a standard identity, a minus b the whole square, a square minus 2ab plus b square. Okay, equal to 49. Let us solve this. This will become 4x square minus 2 2s are 4, 4 3s are 12, so 12x plus 9 equals to 49. Bring 49 on the left hand side, you will get 4x square minus 12x plus 9 minus 49, so minus 40 equal to 0. Now this is not the final equation. Why? Because as you can see, we can further simplify the equation by dividing it completely by 4. You can see this is also divisible by 4, even this and this is divisible by 4. So dividing equation by 4. But you have to do it on the both the sides. Always remember, that's the meaning of the equation. But on the left side, on the right side, 0 divided by 4 will be equal to 0 itself. So it does not matter. Dividing equation by 4. So this will be x square, 4 and 4 got cancelled, minus 12 divided by 4 is 3, so 3x, minus 40 divided by 4 is 10, equal to 0. This is our equation that we need to solve. Now this is a very simple equation. We need factors of minus 10. Okay, 1 multiplied by minus 10. So factors of minus 10 in such a way that the difference of the factors should be minus 3. Okay, we know 5 2s are 10, but one has to be positive, one has to be negative. So which factor is negative? We need minus 3, so the bigger factor has to be negative. Okay, minus 5 and 2 are the correct pair of factors. Minus 5x plus 2x minus 10 equal to 0. If we take common from these two and these two terms, here you will get x common, so x minus 5. Here you can take 2 common, so again x minus 2 5s are 10. Okay, now take this entire bracket outside. X minus 5 in one bracket, the other bracket is x plus 2 equal to 0. So these are our factors. Now by using the zero product rule, either x minus 5 is 0 or x plus 2 is 0. That means या तो x5 होगा या फिर -2 होगा. Okay, this is our final solution for question number 9. I hope you understood this. Let us take 30 seconds so you can note this down, then we'll move on to the next question. Okay, moving on. Next is question number 10. So question number 10 is a little bit on the simpler side. You have to first bring it to its standard form. For those of you who don't have a concise textbook, I'll note this down. Question number 10 is 2 times x square minus 6 on one side equals to 3 times x minus 4. So I would want you to try this on your own at home, because all you have to do is open the brackets and bring everything on one side. You will get a quadratic equation in its standard form and then solve it using the factorization method. So I'll leave this question up to you. Please note down the question. Okay, then we'll move on to the next question, that is question number 11. So moving on to the next question, let us go to a new page. Question number 11. It is x plus 1 multiplied by 2x plus 8 equals to x plus 7 multiplied by x plus 3. So again, all we have to do is open the brackets and then bring everything on one side. So it will come in its standard form here, x into 2x plus 8 plus 1 into 2x plus 8. Okay, I hope you know the commutative rule to multiply. Okay, this is equal to x into x plus 3 plus 7 into x plus 3. So 2x square plus 8x plus 2x plus 8 equals to, this is x square plus 3x and plus 7x plus 21. 7 3s are 21. Now everything that's on the other side, let us bring it here. It will be 2x square minus this x square, 8x plus 2x, as we know it is 10x, and on the other side once again we have 3x plus 7x, that is 10x. On this side it will become minus 10x, then plus 8 and plus 21. When we bring it here, it will be minus 21 equal to 0. Correct? So here the equation that we get is 2x square minus x square, that is x square as it is, 10x minus 10x, it is getting cancelled, and 8 minus 21, we will get minus 13 equal to 0. Okay. Now once again, you remember we solved an equation like this. That was your second question, second equation. You have to just apply a square minus b square rule. But this 13 is not a perfect square. So what can we do here? We can simply write this as x square minus square root of 13 square. Okay, 13 is nothing but root 13 square. Okay, equal to 0. So we have a square minus b square formula here. All you need to do is factorize this by using a plus b, a minus b. So x plus root 13 in one bracket and x minus root 13 in other bracket equal to 0. So the first bracket, either x plus root 13 equal to 0 or x minus root 13 equal to 0. Okay, so either x equal to minus root 13 or x equal to positive root 13. This is our solution. Okay, plus root 13 or negative root 13. So please note this down while we wait. I'll give you 1 minute to note this down. Okay, then we'll move on to the next question. Okay students, let us now go to the next question. The next question is x square minus a plus b multiplied by x plus ab equal to 0. So question is question number 12. X square minus a plus b into x plus ab equal to 0. Okay. Now as you can see, we know an identity like this. I hope you have learnt it. Okay. Which is x minus a multiplied by x minus b equal to x square minus a plus b into x plus ab equal to 0. So if you don't know the identity, we will derive it now. Let us do that. Okay, here you can see we need factors of the last term. Remember factorization method में हम लोग क्या करते हैं? Coefficient of x square multiplied by the last term. So we need factors of the last term ab. Okay, ab is a term जिसका factors हम लोगों को चाहिए. But since these are variables, the only factors that we can think of are a and b. Okay, so अगर मैं इसको open कर दूं, okay, you will get x square minus sign. If I take it inside, we will get minus a into x and minus plus and minus will become minus b into x plus ab. तो यहाँ पे ये जो दो फैक्टर्स आए हमारे सिर्फ ब्रैकेट को ओपन करके, वो एनीवे करेक्ट है. यू कैन सी इट इज माइनस ए एंड माइनस बी. सो माइनस ए एंड माइनस बी, द मल्टीप्लीकेशन इज पॉजिटिव ए बी विच वी नीडेड, एंड when we add these two, this is what we get, minus ax minus bx. So our problem is halfway solved always. Now we will just group them and factorize. Here you can see x is common, so x minus a. Here you can say b is common, so I am taking minus b common. So in the bracket you will get x minus a. Why? Because the sign will always change if you take a negative number common, equal to 0. You can see we are getting both the brackets equal. Let it come outside. You will get x minus a multiplied by x minus b. Okay. So this is what I was talking about, the factorization. You have learned this identity in your earlier standards. You had a formula for x plus a multiplied by x plus b. ये उसी का थोड़ा सा modification है. ठीक है. Now use the zero product rule. So x minus a is equal to 0 or x minus b equal to 0. Okay, x equal to a or x equal to b. This is our required solution, a or b. That's it. So this is question number 12. Again, I'll give you 30 seconds to note this down. Then we will conclude the session. Okay students, so we will stop here today since our 45-minute time limit is up. I hope you understood what we did today and also what we did in the earlier sessions. Please make sure you complete all your homework on time. For today, that's enough. Thank you everyone.